We just launched the world's most accurate speech recognition model, achieving industry-leading transcription accuracy in 99 languages. And this is now available in the ElevenLabs API, so we can build fun applications like, for example, this transcription Telegram bot. So I just recorded this voice message in the Telegram bot, and you can see, not just a second later, we get our transcript back. Now, you might be saying, you have a really good microphone here and your pronunciation is, somewhat okay. But I was in the MRT here in Singapore.
Please transfer to the CCNI and alight at the front station.
And, this might be a bit more challenging, but so what we can do is we can forward this to our bot. And so now, if we send this off, you can see here, for passengers heading to Marina Bay Sands, a lot of people might have not understood that, but the model is really, really good in, understanding that and accurately transcribing it. Another thing we can do is we have the launch video here, for example. So we can also forward videos to this bot because we can actually put entire videos to the API, and you can see again fairly quickly. So this was kind of a minute-long video here, a bit of a larger file, and you can see also we get some audio cues here, so upbeat music, things like that. Now again, this was just English, but we support 99 languages with high accuracy. So for example, I'm German myself, so maybe let's give that a go. Also wir können jetzt auch mal hier auf Deutsch sprechen, auch mal richtig schnell sprechen, um zu gucken, ob das Model das auch versteht und auch sieht, dass wir hier Deutsch sprechen. So I was speaking specifically very quickly here, and you can see, so we can speak German here, and I was just kind of testing, okay, if we're speaking quickly. So that's really nice. Maybe we try French. Bonjour tout le monde, mon français c'est très mauvais, je suis allemand. So I was just saying that my French is very bad, I'm German. There we go, it understood that. Or we can try my broken Mandarin. 大家好，你们吃饭了吗？我是住在新加坡的德国人。And luckily the model here is quite friendly because it actually understands my broken Mandarin. So yeah, you can see here, really cool, really a lot of use cases we can do with this. So let's have a look at how we can build exactly this transcription bot with the ElevenLabs Scribe API. So we can follow along this developer guide in our docs. And so we're building a Telegram bot that can transcribe audio and video messages as well as voice messages in 80+ languages. And we're using TypeScript with Deno in Supabase Edge functions. So there's a couple things that we need. Now, if you prefer to jump straight over to the finished project, you can find that, of course, on GitHub. But otherwise, you can follow along with me here. So we'll need an ElevenLabs account with an API key that we can create. We need a Supabase account. We can create that at database.new. We need the Supabase CLI installed locally, the Deno runtime installed, and you can set it up with your favorite IDE. And then a Telegram account. Now, the first thing to register a Telegram bot, we need to use another bot, which is called the bot father. So we can start the bot father here, and we can see there's a bunch of different commands that we can use. So we want to create a new bot, and we need to choose a name for our bot. So we already created our bot here, so we'll say ElevenLabs Scribe Docs bot. Okay, and then we need to choose a username for our bot. We'll see if we can just use the same, if that isn't taken. Yeah, there we go. And then this is important. So what we get back is this access token here. And so this access token we need to save and later put into our environment variables. Okay, great. So we've done that. Then the next step we need to do is we need to create a Supabase project locally. So here we just need to create a new directory. We'll call it 11 Labs Scribe Bot. And then we'll just need to go in there. And then what we can say is Supabase init. So yes, we want to initialize VS Code settings. So I'm using Cursor here, which is a VS Code fork. So we can use all kind of our same configuration for VS Code. And yes, also always make sure that we say brew upgrade Supabase. We always have the latest version of the Supabase CLI installed. There we go, we're all updated now. And so we can now open up our project. And so we can see we have some VS Code configuration here and our Supabase configuration. And so now the next thing we need to do is we want to create a database table to log our transcription results. So we can just copy that here. So we'll say Supabase migrations new, and we'll create a new init migration. And so you can see here now in the migrations, we have a new file in it. And what we can do is we can just copy over this here and have a look at what that does. So specifically, we're creating a table if it doesn't exist, and we're calling it transcription logs. We're giving here an ID that basically just counting up, kind of a big serial. We're storing our file type, the duration of it. We're storing the chat ID, the message ID, the username if it is available, the transcript if it was returned, the language code that we're getting back. So basically what the API found out which language it is, and then just created a timestamp that we're setting to the current timestamp, and then an error, just in case there is an error. And then lastly, with Supabase, you know, we can expose the database tables directly to the client side. So what we want to do is we want to enable row level security just to make sure that no one can access that with the public API key. Okay, great. So the next step is we need a Supabase Edge function to handle our Telegram webhook requests. And so what we can do here again is we can copy that. We can say new scribe bot. And so you see now we have a new function here. And so the next thing that we need to do is we need to set up our environment variables. So within the Supabase functions directory, we can create a new .env file. So here in the functions, we say new file .env. And then we can copy over. So these are the things that we need. So first of all, our 11 Labs API key, our Telegram bot token, and then a random function secret. So first of all, our bot token, again, we can copy it from here. So we'll put that in there, our Telegram bot token. Now our 11 Labs API key. So 11 Labs, we log in, and then in here, we can click on our account and we can say API keys. And then we can create a new API key, and we'll just say this is the one for the video demo, because I need to make sure that I delete it later, because now you've seen it. I don't, you know, this is a secret key, so don't expose that to anyone. That's just a secret for you. And then a random function secret, we can just like, you know, put in something random. You can generate something. So it's just something we use to identify the webhook coming from Telegram. Okay, great. So now we have that set up. And then there's a couple dependencies. Now, the great thing is in Deno, we don't need to install the dependencies, so they are getting pulled down at runtime. So what we can do is basically we can now just code our Telegram bot. And so we'll just copy this here, and then we'll step through it. So in the docs, you can see kind of this code deep dive. We'll just do that step by step. And so we'll go into our index file here. Maybe we'll make this a little bit smaller. And so now what you can see is there is our Gremmy framework. So we're pulling it from here. We're importing some Edge runtime types and kind of things that we need. We're importing our create client from Supabase.js, and that we're getting from JSR. JSR is just kind of basically NPM, but built by the Deno folks. And then what we can do as well as for NPM, we can just import via this NPM prefix, and we just import the 11 Labs client here, and then we can get out the 11 Labs client. And so now we've set up our .env file, so we can now import our environment variable. So in Deno, we say deno.env.get. So we need our 11 Labs API key. Then we create our Supabase client. So here we need our Supabase URL and our Supabase service role key. Now, because we're developing this in Supabase Edge functions, these are actually preset. So we don't need to set them specifically. So they will be injected into our function automatically by Supabase. Okay, and then here we have a method that is called scribe. So this is where our transcription logic lives. So what we're doing here is we'll be calling our scribe function with a file URL, a file type, a duration, a chat ID, a message ID, and a username. So what we need to do to get the transcript is we need to fetch our file URL. So from the Telegram bot, we get a file URL where we can fetch the file. And so we're just fetching that into an array buffer. So when we get the fetch response back, we're returning the response as an array buffer. And then what we can do is we can generate a new blob. And we can put in here the file type. So there's various different file types depending on whether it's an MP3 audio file that you kind of uploaded in the Telegram bot chat, or a voice message that will be kind of a specific file type that's being used, or a video MP4 kind of that format. So we're creating our source blob. And then what we do is we're doing 11 Labs client, speech to text, and we're converting our file. So we're putting our source blob in here. We need to provide the model ID. So in our case, we say scribe v1. And then we need to, this one is optional. We don't need to. So by default, it is not enabled. But if we wanted to specifically enable, we want laughter, footsteps, so kind of, the audio cues, we can say, yes, we want that to true. And so we want to tag the audio events. And then we can get the scribe result back. So when we get that back, we actually get, all the timestamp, kind of word level timestamps. But, for our ease of convenience here, we just kind of want to return the entire text back. So basically the raw text of the transcription, we can get that as a top level text result. And then we get the language code, which is our scribe result language code that was identified. And then once we have that, we will send back a message. And we're basically just saying here, okay, we're replying to our voice message, our audio file upload, or what have you, and we're just replying with the transcript. And so this is pretty much most of where the magic happens. Lastly, what we do is we write a log line to Supabase just into our transcription logs. Now, the rest here in the code is basically just setting up the Telegram bot via Grammy. So we're creating a new bot. We're creating a start message here that we'll see in our bot. And then we have our bot command for start. We're just replying with the start message. And then here is kind of where the magic happens for our filtering. So we want to react to any kind of voice message, audio file being uploaded, or video file. And then when we have that, we can get from the context, we can get the file. And so that is where we get the file URL. And then once we have the file URL, we also get the file metadata. So we need to extract that either from the video, the voice, or the audio. And then once we have that, and so this is really, really handy here within Supabase Edge runtime, within Supabase Edge functions, we can have a background task. So really what we want to do is, you saw this in the demo, we want to reply immediately with, okay, we received this, we want to give immediate user feedback. And then in the background, we want to keep the function alive until our transcription has been finished, right? And so here we can use the Edge runtime wait until, and then we can give immediate user feedback, but you know, in the background, we're running the scribe method until it was successful. And then here we're just putting together our webhook callback. And that really is just what we return within. So the Dino.serve is basically our function handler. So anytime our function is being invoked, we will invoke this Dino serve method here. Here is where we check that the secret coming from, you know, the Telegram webhook endpoint is the same as our function secret. So that's how we're kind of making sure that not someone random is, you know, sort of invoking our function. And then if that is the case, we're just handling our update. So that's pretty much it. That is all that is kind of going on here. And with that, we have a really, you know, functional bot. So now lastly, what we want to do is we can deploy to Supabase. But before we do that, what we can also do is we can test this locally. And so the way we can test this locally is we can say, what we can say is Supabase start. So we start up our local stack. So what this will do is it'll set up kind of all the Supabase services, and then it'll set up our migrations. So here just our start migration. Okay, great. So now our Supabase stack is up and running locally. So one thing we can do is we can actually look at the Supabase Studio locally, and we can just quickly verify yes here. So we have our transcription logs table set up. That's great. And so now in the next step, what we need to do is we need to serve our function locally. So what we can say is Supabase functions serve. Then we need to pass the no verify JWT. So we don't want to verify JWT tokens because we want to expose it to the public, you know, Telegram webhook. And then we'll just say scribe bot. So we need to pass in our .env file with our details. So env file. And our env file is in Supabase functions .env. There we are, and then we can kick this off now. So you can see now we're serving our Edge functions on this route here, v1. So that would be scribe bot. So you can see here the GET request is not allowed. So that is very good. So that is all working as intended. So what we need to do now is we need to register our webhook. And so that is this part here. We need to set up our webhook with, you know, the Telegram bot. So kind of using this format here. And we can, you know, just do that quickly in our .env file. So we need to put in our Telegram bot token, which is this one here. Then we need to put in our webhook URL. Now, the thing is that, you know, this is running locally on our machine. So one thing that we can do is we can use ngrok. So ngrok HTTP, and then we need to pass in the port 54321. And so now you can see we're forwarding, you know, to this one here. Open this up. You can see we don't have any route here, so we'll need to say v1. We'll need to say functions v1/scribe bot. And then you can see, okay, now we're on the public network. And so we can put that in as our HTTPS ngrok URL. And then we need to put in our function secret there. Okay, so put in our function secret here. And so now we just need to make a GET request to this. So the easiest way we can do that is, just open it, and we can see here, okay, true, the webhook was set. And so now, if we go to our bot, so this is our bot here, we can hit start. We can start this off here, and now we can see we get our welcome message back. We see our function is up and running, so everything is wired up. Now, lastly, one thing we need is for running this locally, we need a specific configuration. So here in our Edge runtime, we need the policy per worker. So that is needed in order for the background tasks to work locally. And so now we can serve our functions locally. And so now if we head back, we'll record a message just saying this is how easy it is to get started with the ElevenLabs speech-to-text API. And then we fire this off, and we can see now received, and we're scribing, and there we go. This is how easy it is to get started with the ElevenLabs speech-to-text API. There we are. Really exciting, the world's most accurate ASR model. Let us know what you're building with this at ElevenLabs devs, and we can't wait to see what you'll build. See you next time.